What is going on, guys? This is Winweave, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to level a character in World of Warcraft from 1 to 20 within 1 hour.
Let's crack some tiki target skulls!
Alright guys, well let's jump right in, and right off the bat I do want to let you know, in case you were wondering, this does not require you to have any high level friends, refer a friend, leveling potions, etc. in order to reach this hour-long timeline. However, I am using full heirloom gear, well almost full heirloom gear. I'm missing one ring, and so that will allow you to level much faster. If you don't have the heirlooms, if you're new to WoW, it could potentially take you about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on how familiar you are with the game. The first thing that you're going to need to do is create a character and choose a class and spec. I personally love the Troll and the Orcs the best, as I think they have the best starting zones and transition nicely into Orgrimmar, where you're going to be leveling basically from 10 or 11 all the way up to level 20. And the two things I would not recommend are playing a warrior, as the lack of move speed and damage over time at lower levels is really going to slow you down, and I would not recommend playing a Pandaren. Very slow starting area, and you also can't get your heirloom items to that character until you choose a faction at level 10. So super slow, a lot of walking in that one, and so it's a cool storyline, but I wouldn't recommend playing that character. So you've created your first character, you've gotten logged in, you want to head over to the nearest mailbox and grab your heirloom items before you ever turn in any quest. You want to make sure you have a full heirloom on if you have that available. And then your first quest is basically going to be go find someone, and they're going to show you how quests work. Second quest is going to be go kill something and or loot something off of them. Here's where we're going to change things up just a little bit. You're going to want to kill everything in sight. You can complete the quest, and I would recommend it because it does provide a little extra XP, but it's really much faster to just kill as many things as you possibly can. In this case, I'm killing a bunch of cats and not really worry about anything else. One thing to note here as well is that looting is for poor people. Unless you're looting for an actual quest, I wouldn't recommend it. So I'm going through it and just tagging everything till I reach about level 4.5 before I even really turn in my first quest, and that's going to be the first way that you can level quickly. Now that you've reached level 4, you're going to be doing all of the starting zone quests just like you normally would. A couple things to keep in mind though is that you should avoid any quests that require you to have a mob damage you, as you'll typically be one-shotting everything, so it's hard to get them to actually do any damage to you. You should also avoid quests with one particular mob that you have to kill on a high population server, and you're going to continuously have to wait on that one. It's just not worth it. And as well, something that requires you to collect something off mobs when there's a low drop rate. So you're going to go through that just like you normally would, and then at level 10 you're going to be heading into Orgrimmar. There is a quest in Razor Hill that actually asks you to go to Orgrimmar. It isn't required, but it does reward you for bringing someone your meat.
That's what she said.
While you're turning in this quest, I would go ahead and recommend setting your Hearthstone to this location. You can actually use it later on to port out of the dungeon that you're going to be at the end at, so that you don't have to walk all the way back. And as soon as you've done that, you want to head over into Ragefire Chasm. So once you get in, you'll notice that you're much lower than the mobs. However, you should be able to start killing them one by one by just being careful and either using heals or burst damage to bring them down quickly. So depending on what class you play, you should have one or the other, or have a pet to do some of the tanking for you. If you're having trouble on some of the groups of mobs and you don't think that you'd be able to even kill the first boss, just head back to the beginning of the instance, go on out, reset that instance, and then head back in until you're high enough level where you can defeat the boss. I would recommend using the Trinket Void Tendrils, as it does a considerable amount of damage to the boss and will help you burn things down much faster. By the end of your first dungeon, if you've completed it from start to finish and you came in at about level 10, you should be level 15 your first go around. Now that you're level 15, you are able to accept the quest that's going to help you out, so go ahead and grab those, and then you're going to want to Hearthstone out of the dungeon.
There's no place like home.
As that's going to be faster than walking back through the entire dungeon. And you're just going to reset the dungeon and start over again, rinse and repeat. And depending on what level you were when you first entered the instance, you should have to do this 2 to 3 times in order to reach level 20, and you should hit that marker at almost exactly 1 hour. Thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed, and happy power leveling to everyone.